All of these prophets were Jewish prophets, and they were from the Bani Israel, from the Israelites. And therefore, claiming that the land does not belong to them, you have made all of God's prophets and their nations stateless. Therefore, the Islamist argument is extremely weak, whether you look at it from the verses of the Holy Quran, or you look at it from basic understanding of how the world operated at the time.
Watch what magnesium does to you.
It's our vision to see a peace between Muslims and Jews that is founded upon the truth, not founded upon politics. We want a peace that is genuine, that is everlasting, one that makes our father Abraham proud of his children, both the Arabs and the Jews. And I would like to mention that the recent developments, most importantly, the fatwa against Hamas that was issued by the Islamic Fatwa Council in March, has been received greatly by many states in the Middle East and many important leading organizations in the Middle East and the West that have been struggling to target the Muslim Brotherhood in a way that allows one to point the finger at Hamas. So yes, we know the Muslim Brotherhood is a designated terrorist entity in the UAE, throughout the Gulf. But to say Hamas itself, this was a precedent that has been set by the Islamic Fatwa Council. It was so important that the FDD weighed in. And again, if you haven't heard about this, please rush to Google and Google fatwa against Hamas. This just happened a few weeks ago. It's a big deal. This sets a precedent for holding Hamas accountable in courts across the Muslim world. It is Islamically binding. What makes it even more special is that the Fatwa Council is both Sunni and Shia. This is law. This is law. So you can't run away from law. And when it says you cannot join or donate or pray to Hamas, pray for Hamas or support them in any way, you've basically isolated them. And this weakens them and reduces their ability to fundraise within holy Islamic cities and have their charity boxes everywhere they go. And we see now they've been shown the door throughout Iraq. Whenever Hamas wants to come and present itself as the representative of the Palestinian people, they've been shown the door by numerous grand ayatollahs and their officers. I want to touch lastly, and I want to conclude with this, that the regime in Iran is making some progress in its view. We don't think it's progress. We think it's a danger that one should never deal with the Iranian regime, no matter what happens, no matter what the relationship with America is, no matter what the situation in the region is. Iran, the regime, should always be a red line. It should never be dealt with. Should never be allowed any space to speak. This is an illegitimate regime. They have zero respect for human rights. I don't know how they sit on United Nations human rights committees, especially for women. They kill women in Iran and then hold women's fashion exhibitions in Geneva. Let's not waste time. Time is very valuable. And I think the Gulf states being pushed towards a relationship with Iran or restoring relations, it needs to be understood that Iran is not coming from a strong position here. Iran is coming from a weak position, but still it should not be in that position where it is given the time of day. We want this regime to go. We want to see a democratic and free Iran that is friends with the Jewish people, that restores stability to the region. Much of the conflict for the last 40 years between the Palestinians and the Jewish state is largely fueled by the regime and its propaganda and its Quds March and so on. If you pay attention to what I just said, the position of the Arabs towards the Palestinians, because the Palestinians are not Arabs. The Palestinians do not descend from Arabian tribes. They are Arabized. The Palestinians are nations. They are the remnants of the Romans, of the Turks, of the Circassians, of the Gypsies, of the nations that ruled this land. And any Arab who is genuinely a descendant of the Arabian tribes who is living in the Palestinian regions, then he belongs in Arabia. He's indigenous, they're indigenous to Arabia. They're not indigenous to Judea. The Palestinians are Arabized. Let's not mix these things up. We have, for example, Egypt calling itself the Arab Republic of Egypt. They're Africans. They're Arabized Africans because of the spread of Islam. They will never descend from the Arabian tribes in Yemen. It did not happen, will not happen. So let's differentiate. And this is very important because when they say the Arab cause, that means Saudi Arabia is responsible for the Palestinian cause, the UAE is responsible. But if we say, hang on, you are not Arab. You speak Arabic, you read Arabic, you probably speak Arabic better than many Arabs in Arabia, that's fine. But you are not Arabs in the sense that whatever you are involved in should involve the Arab world, especially when you go back and you stab the Arab world in the back after feeding you and protecting you and going to war for you for 70 years. So Saudi Arabia will keep going until it sees there's no hope. And right now, Saudi Arabia is on the verge where there is no hope, really. We see the dialogue between the Saudis and the Palestinians. One side gives aid, the other side insults them. One side gives aid, the other side takes the pictures of the Saudi king to Temple Mount and sets it on fire. So eventually patience will run out, and you have Mohamad bin Salman, who is a young man, does not have time for any of this. He'll continue to maintain the Saudi position as the country of Mecca and Medina, the country that embraces the house of God, and defend the interests of Islam. But if ultimately that is going to harm the interests of Saudi Arabia, then look, aid will come to you. We wish you all the best, but we can't continue keeping our interests hostage because you guys do not want peace. And as for a two-state, Palestinians already have 3 states. Jordan is majority Palestinian. That is a Palestinian state. It's a state with Palestinians. The Jordanian king is a Saudi. He's not a Jordanian. Jordan is a new invention. So the Palestinian regions before 1948 also exist in the area now known as Jordan. That is also a Palestinian state.